before I joined 12 by 12, I was mainly in illustrating. My agent had just found me maybe a year before that. And he was saying, you might have a voice, so you might want to write something. So I have to give kudos to my agent. He's been the one pushing me. And I know I had some stories in my head, but I never considered myself as a writer. So when he said that is, let's just see what you have. So I had a few ideas, and I do read a lot of picture books, of course, as we all should. But I feel like I was shooting in the dark. And I had a few stories, and James McGowan, my agent, he was just saying, that's good, maybe not so good. Or we would try to sell a story. We had one story on submission that never sold. And I just felt like what I was writing was not all things that families really wanted or children really wanted. So I said, James, I really need to get better. I need to educate myself. Do you have any more resources? And he says, you need to start writing more. So he told me about 12 by 12, and he says, this is a great group for you to get in and to actually get more prolific, because the more you do, the more you fail, the more you learn, and so on, because to be a picture book writer, you have to be prolific. And this was November 2021. So I saw the website, like, I can't get in. Oh my God. So I put a little reminder. And I watched all the videos, and I was just so excited about it. Just counting, when can I go in? That was me before. One thing that actually gave me a nice confidence boost was the little badge. And I know it sounds weird, but I put it on my Twitter. And I was like, now I'm serious about it. Now everybody knows that I'm part of the 12 by 12 group. Second thing, I definitely became more prolific. I didn't do 12 drafts for 12 months, especially because I work in dummies, and dummies take a long time. So I was just happy I was writing more. And the biggest thing from 12 by 12 that I found is that I got into 2 critique groups. And on those critique groups, I felt like a baby, right? Because I was mostly an illustrator. So I was like, teach me. So besides showing my work and getting feedback, which I learned so much, because like I said, if you fail and you get somebody telling you, maybe work on this or that, a lot of the things that people were telling me was to be more children-centric. And even seeing my critique partners' drafts raw as they could be, like they just wrote the week before or whatever, and just seeing everybody's feedback and me trying to give a bit of feedback, which also made me a bit more confident as, okay, maybe I have something to say, even though I still felt a bit like a kid. It helped me massively to learn. I think seeing other people's stories and drafts and learning from the critique groups was huge on the forums. And then another thing that helped me a lot was, the way you have a lot of questions about story or anything about the industry, you can just put on the Facebook group and you get answered in minutes, because everybody's around the world. So I had a question about, do you think the language is too complicated, or can this animal be part of this story? Whatever question I had. And you just get answers from different writers, a lot of really experienced writers, a lot of writers like me that just started. And I felt like I had a little hug in the community. I felt like I was being taken on this road and not just shooting in the dark like I was before. And then this one, the webinars. The first year that my daughter was born, I couldn't do anything else, but I watched the webinars, and that helped me a lot. My big success, and I'm so happy with this one, because it was on 2022, I brought this book onto my critique group. So it's called Walkies. It's based on a walk I had with my dog, and it was brought onto my critique group, and I got a lot of critique and a lot of help from my peers. I even got a little teddy now. I had to show it. That's cute. And this book is now going to be published by Page Street on May 14, 2024. So I'm really excited that's coming out. So that's, for me, a big success from 12 by 12. And then because I watched a webinar that you had with Vicky Fang, writing across age groups from board books to chapter books. And she was talking about, have you tried some other things? Board books, chapter books. Since my daughter was born, we have tons of board books at home, right? Tons. And I really wanted to do a little series based on a character or 2 characters. And I had drawn this little bunny from my daughter's bedroom. It was a set of 4 pictures. That's the winter, and there's spring and autumn and summer. And I said, I really want to do something with that bunny, and maybe I can do it for a board book, because this was made for baby. I'm very happy to say, after writing and discussing it with James and learning a lot from the past few years, I sold 4 board books to Source Books, and they're going to start coming out in 2025. So that's a huge dream. As a writer, as an illustrator, this is huge. So very grateful. And I have another dummy on submission right now, and my confidence is starting growing and growing. And I couldn't have done it without 12 by 12 because honestly, the community is like you feel like you're never alone.